Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Business Spotlight, brought to you by Rober and Phillips, attorney at law and Mercantile Bank. My guests are Sara and Max Semenick.
You are correct.
Yes, sir.
With
Way to go.
Deeper Roots Counseling. Deeper Roots Counseling. Okay, so you guys are counselors. How long have you been counselors?
Okay, well, I would say, what am I, like over 5+ years? I kind of went back. This is second as a career change for me. So we've lived in Louisville, Kentucky for the last 20 years. So we've done a lot of our counseling out there. We've just moved back to Quincy. So our business, what are we hitting? 2 years?
2 years.
Almost to the day. It was September 1st, a couple years ago, that we opened our business. I'd been working at a private practice before that. So yeah, I would say between 5 and 7 years. I kind of lost count. 7 years.
So you're a Quincy native, and she dragged you here, right? Is that what we're saying?
That's right. She's been dragging me here for 20 years,
Yeah.
and this time it stuck, I suppose.
Yeah.
So where are you from originally then?
So I grew up in Cincinnati. My
Okay.
dad's family was always in Louisville, so back and forth there.
No, because those towns are relatively close,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, Louisville's a hub. You can get to anywhere within a day. It was fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's like right there, and I've been there a few times myself with some family down there as well. So, well, your maiden name then, since you're from Quincy.
Mitchell.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So there we go. Now the connections are all made. So Deeper Roots Counseling. What sort of counseling do you guys specialize in?
Yeah, so we do a variety of things. I think we have some of our favorites. So, for instance, I see a lot of first responders, PTSD, war veterans, but quite a gamut of other things. Our actual training is in marriage and family therapy, which ultimately means we're going to take an approach to counseling to look at the system people are living in as opposed to just what's going on with them as an individual. And we've seen a lot of success with that.
Yeah, so we work with individuals, couples, families. I primarily work with females. I work a lot with just trauma, anxiety, depression, codependency, like anything when it comes to identity as females, like anybody struggling. 18 plus is kind of my my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But we see couples together, so oftentimes it's when we do couples work, sometimes they'll have us boasted in there because it feels a little more balanced.
Sure.
And so
Here's the secret, though. When they ask for both of us, it's because a young lady doesn't want to get ganged up on by a couple men.
Sure.
What they don't understand is she's way tougher than me.
I hear you. Yeah.
we do love doing that kind of work together,
Yeah.
which I think it just offers something a little bit different.
Yeah, I think that's, anytime. I mean, it's really like just sitting and you're just having a conversation. And you guys, being professionals, know kind of what to ask and how to kind of peel the layers back on what the situation might be. So I think, it's got, I'm sure you guys aren't in some room with 4 walls and four folding chairs and a card table. I'm sure it's a very comfortable, relaxed atmosphere.
That's exactly what we're going for.
We are renting what used to be a house, and so they turned it into office space, but the bedrooms literally have become our office. So we have a living room, which is our waiting room, a little dining room, so it feels like home when you walk in. I have couches, chairs, like it literally looks like a living room. So we try to make our spaces inviting and warm, not sterile. You're not coming to see a doctor. You're not gonna. People joke when they're like, "Okay, is this the couch I lay on to put my feet up?" And it's like, well, you can lay down if you want. But
We don't do that anymore,
Really.
So where are your offices located then?
So, well, I probably have to answer this because he's like, I don't know. Where is it?
Great.
I'm like, Quincy's easy. It's a grid. Just put
Sure.
your numbers and your states.
Yeah.
I still use my Maps app to get
Yeah. Presidents, trees, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So we're on 30th and Broadway. So if you know where Planet Fitness is,
sure.
Pancheros, Verizon. I always tell people like where the old Amico is or was. They've torn it down. Like we're literally like that first house right back.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's easy to get to then. Yeah.
is.
So, So you're the one that dragged her into this then? The profession? Were you
Oh
beforehand?
gosh,
You dragged
I have
her.
been riding her coattails my entire life. Anything good that's ever happened to us, she did it first.
The best of us marry up.
That's right.
I mean, I'm a part of that club too. So
Yeah, so he literally went through, I went through and got my master's, age 37, went back, and I was like, I really got to do this. It was part of my own healing journey, just kind of getting to kind of experience the other side of therapy and things for a while. Really motivated me to find my purpose, that my kids are growing up, and it's like, I got things to do. Like, I have more to offer than just, I don't know. Like, so I decided to go back, went through the master's program at Campbellsville over in Louisville. Then a couple years later, he has been a pastor in the church for a long time. We've kind of, that was part of our history. So we have a lot of that in our back pocket, just kind of working in the church and with communities and things like that, kind of knowing the needs. We were able to meet the needs in a different way. Because a lot of times when you're doing church work, it's like, I just can't do the individual stuff. It's more like, how do we keep the building open? How do we work with nonprofits? How do we do all that? And we found that just having people in our home, we really loved that one-on-one feel. And so we just felt like, hey, this is a great move for us to be able to kind of do what we're passionate about, what we're gifted at. So I went through the program. He allowed me, because it's financially, it's costly.
Sure.
So, like, you can go through after me. I'm like, I'm going first because I'm on a mission. So he followed through, and he's still, just following me. Then, yeah.
But being a pastor is a counselor, so it's not. I mean, you didn't come into this cold.
Oh, for sure. And prior to that, I was a military chaplain. So there's been hints of this along the way. Yeah. Part of what she's describing, though, is I definitely experienced, hey, we're doing all the work to keep the church open, and it's good work. But I would notice on my calendar all these individual sessions I was having with hurting people, but then I was bringing all that administrative work home. And so that's part of what really started enlivening me of like, hey, this clearly is what I want to do and what I'm being called to do in this time.
And I think that's so important because, again, when you, anytime you're involved as clergy, I mean, people get into the clergy for all the right reasons, and they want to, try to help people through God. But then, when you're running that kind of church, it's a bit, you've still got to, like you said, keep the lights on. And so you still got that sort of stuff to do. It's not, being a Catholic priest is one thing where you've got the diocese and a whole support system and all that stuff. But if you're, in more of a non-denominational or something that's not as structured as, say, the Catholic Church is, then it's got to be hard.
Well, we were supported really well, but like even being here in this town, to support the churches here, to come alongside pastors where we know what they're going through. If we can help them be as healthy as they can be, that actually allows us to help thousands of people who aren't going to be able to sit in our office. Right. Yeah.
It sounds like it's a lot more fun than going to confession, like I do. So.
Well, and here's another angle when it comes to the church. Not everybody is in church or faith-based.
Sure.
And a lot of times people come into our office and they have, wildly painful church hurt stories.
Sure.
Where there's been spiritual abuse or there's been things that have happened. And I think we are uniquely positioned to help people through that too. So in order to see us, you don't have to be a faith-based person.
Right.
You can bring your hurts. You can bring all the things. We've seen the church. We love the church. We've seen the great, the good, the bad, and the really, really ugly.
Oh, sure. No question about it.
Like
I said, I'm a member of the Catholic Church, so I've seen it too, yeah.
But I try to tell people, I'm like, there's nothing that you are going to tell me on this couch that I am going to be surprised about. So, we can hold space for a lot of pretty intense stuff. We deal with a lot of trauma, and we are trained in some very specific modalities to help people through that. We call that kind of body work. If you're familiar with EMDR, that's kind of the most widely known trauma tool. You say it.
Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
There
Which
you
was
go.
born out of combat veterans coming back from war, and
But it's, again, I mean, I think it's got to be, though, so rewarding when you can see people who are coming in and hurting, and if you can help them in any way possible, that has to be very gratifying.
It is.
That's again, like you said, being, going from the ministry to this, they all sort of tie in together, and it's all about helping people because the world lately has been hard. I mean, especially with COVID, and then, the crazy world that we live in politically now, and people, really taking sides on issues. It's like if more people would just talk, come together, and find the common ground that they have, the world would probably be a little better place.
And if we had a little bit stronger boundaries in allowing people to have their opinions and not get all worked up.
Right.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah. Again, and don't let, I think I was listening to one of my favorite podcasters this week, and he had said something along the lines, because he's owned businesses, he's been a university professor, and he said that some of the universities, which of course have been in the news a lot for their cancel culture or what have you, a university president came in, and the first day the students came in, he goes, if something we say or one of our professors teaches you that is teaching you, his words hurt you, you're not ready for college. And it's like, wow, that's very refreshing to hear. Otherwise, and somebody's just going to come in and get and get all hurt because a professor might have had, or an instructor might have had some sort of something that didn't align with their belief or whatever. So again, there is speech that is malicious, and hate speech, which is not appropriate, but having a difference of opinion that is not in a hateful or destructive manner, those should be heard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the best things we can do in therapy is therapist doesn't have an agenda for the kind of life you should live. No. We want to know, what are your goals? How do we come alongside you to help you get what you want? Mm-hmm. And that might include any number of things, but I think a lot of people maybe even haven't had experiences where an authority figure was on their side and really listened to them. Mm-hmm. And we can all do that.
Yeah. All right. If somebody wants to get in touch with you and have a chat, how do they do so?
Okay, so you can go to our website, which is kind of long, but it's Deeper Roots Counseling. Ours is mft.com. It was the way we could differentiate and have our own website.
Sure.
But Deeper Roots Counseling, mft.com, all that information to get in touch with us. Our emails are on there, our phone numbers.
Okay.
You can text, email, that kind of thing.
We will have a link to their website at the bottom of this page. You can see it under the interview. So anyway, so if you, again, need somebody to talk to, I think Sarah and Max would be great. So thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's all the time we have for now. We will join you next week on Business Spotlight, brought to you by Rober and Phillips Attorneys at Law and Mercantile Bank.
Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan, or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.